Thanks again for the assist. Hey, good to see you again. Still think there might be room for me on your crew? I'm a real expert in the gunner seat. Have to be, since I usually fly solo. I'll knock out any targets we come across. That's a promise. Okay, I'm game. I could use a break from the Sol system. Give me a few to get my things together, then I'll get to work. See you in the space lanes, Captain.
Thought we'd struck oil, but it turns out it was just another deep water deposit. That would have been wild. How's the saying go? Show no mercy, leave no quarter? Hey, darling. You look like the type who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty. The Trackers Alliance can always use more bounty hunters to round up and kill wanted criminals. If that feels like your speed, talk to me. Or check out our posts on the mission boards. Actually, wait. I heard about you. You've done good work for us before, haven't you, darling? Hey, you looking for more work? I'm wondering if you might be up for doing me a favor of the personal kind, off the books. Good. Here's the short of it. I'm only stationed here because I made a mistake. Killed the wrong bounty, and the right one got away. It's bugged me ever since. Now, I heard rumors that this no-good, dirty quarry's been lurking around Mars, but I ain't had the good fortune of him strolling on in here. I think he's smart enough to know better. I got a plan in place to find him, but I gotta prove to my other tracker contact that he's here. That's where you come in. Just gotta plant a sensor. No danger to you. He doesn't know it, but he's got a chip in him with a unique ID. Part of the reason he's learned to keep out of the major cities and settlements. Trackers always manage to find him when he comes to town, so he just stays away. But he's a slippery fella. That's why I want to send someone to catch him where he feels safe, just along the outskirts. Sensors tuned to that chip. Makes sense now, don't it? Ken Plakis, smuggler. The worst kind. Deals in all sorts of black market goods. He's wanted for grand theft, human trafficking, murder, you name it. He's also extremely good at what he does. He's eluded the best of UC security for years. He's even slipped by our own trackers, myself included. I'm convinced he set me up to fail, found a lookalike to unwittingly take a fall, made me look bad. So I'm sure you understand it's kind of personal. Alright, so you're gonna want to take this here sensor and put it way up at the tippy top of the old Mars launchpad tower where it's nice and unobstructed. You're gonna want to make sure you've got a boost pack to help get yourself up there, or else it's gonna be a tough climb. Mars gravity's on the low side, but not that low. It'll track down my Mark's chip signal, assuming he shows, and I'll call in my partner to take care of him. Clear out and come back to me as soon as you're done so you don't spook the quarry. Get it? Got it? Good.
A friendly reminder that throwing litter on the balcony is prohibited. Please use it.
Okay. Waiting here. Watch yourself.
Been to Aquila? Those security uniforms are way cooler than anything we've got.
You're doing me a solid. Careful placing that sensor. I've only got the one. Good. I'm already getting readings from it. Nothing yet, but when he shows, we'll get him. Here's your pay. Think of it as your cut of the bounty for your assistance.
Almost break time. Come on. You can make it.
Tragedy struck a remote settlement on Tau Ceti 2. A surprise terrormorph attack killed every settlement. There were no survivors. The settled systems are sadly no stranger to terrormorph attacks, but how and why they occur is barely understood. Colonial Health and Human Services is holding a service for the relatives of the deceased, offering their dearest condolences.
I'd love to take a vacation. Let me guess. You're here because you were working a cutter. Well, that's a relief. Sorry. I tend to think the worst. I know it's my job to help people, and I'm Dr. Flynn. What can I do for... Bollocks! Is that how I come off now? Work's getting to me, I suppose. It's always, Dr. Flynn, reattach me arm. Well, maybe if you took the time to properly dress yourself for the Sorry for the rant, just for a change, I'd rather be treating the common cold, and not some horrific yet entirely preventable accident. You know, I've been saying that going on 10 years now. You'd think I'd take me own advice, open up my own practice on a nice, safe world, maybe settle down with someone. I'd be much happier, for sure. But the truth is, the pay is exceptional here, and all these careless Egypts keep me busy. Maybe it's enough to stay with it and retire early instead. I've often wondered why myself. I've got some theories. From what I hear, the equipment's supposedly not in the best shape, so that's part of it. But I also happen to know the miners can get very competitive, since their bonuses are determined by how well they exceed their quotas. So that leads to a bunch of meatheads going out of their way to avoid following safety precautions, and taking shortcuts to squeeze out a little extra job performance. It's bollocks, that's what it is. Stay healthy.
Tragedy struck a remote settlement on Tau Ceti 2. A surprise terrormorph attack killed every...
I got a little bit of everything.
survivors.
Hello, welcome to the Sidonia UC Exchange. The best goods, all courtesy of the United Colonies, straight to all of the wonderful UC soldiers, workers, and other citizens. I've got a little of this, a little of that, and maybe a little of some other things you wouldn't expect to find at the UC shop, But that's because I try to provide for everyone here. So please, browse my stock and let me know what I can get for you, friendo. Take a look. Oh, friendo, you have no idea. You see, not only do I sell goods for the United Colonies, I also need to receive the shipments, stock the shelves, manage the inventory. Why, even now I have this big delivery. Tracking says it is here, but it is clearly not here. I don't see it, do you? The ship is out in the desert of Mars, not where it should be. Ship services tells me they can look at it, but I need my goods soon, and they're taking too long. Please, no. Have you ever dealt with them? I have. Too much bureaucracy. Everything takes too long. Some of the goods are perishable. You could do this for me much faster. And you seem better equipped than I to deal with any problems you may find on board. What happened? I don't know. The ship was marked as approaching, then it landed somewhere out there, and that was the last I heard. Did it crash? I hope not. But maybe, yes, it did. That would be terrible. My shipment would be ruined. And the ship's crew. Oh, how tragic. What if? But we must not assume. We must be sure. And we must get my shipment. That is also important. Let's not forget. Or just various crates of supplies. Nothing unusual. You see what I have in stock, yes, friendo? More of that. The people here, they need their supplies. And I need to sell them supplies. And without that shipment, neither can happen, right? You could? Yes? This is what I hoped when we talked. If you go to where the ship was last seen, you could look at it. Find out what happened. Take care of anything on board that shouldn't be there. Pirates, killer robots, heat leeches, whatever. And check the crates to make sure nothing is broken. Then come back to me, so I can send someone to recover the shipment and get to selling. Easy as peasy, as they say.
You're listening to
A reminder that Bring Your Child to Work Day is not an officially sanctioned holiday, and that it is not advised to allow children into potentially
Keep a
dangerous work
lookout.
sites.
Notify us.
Keep our children safe. Keep them out of harm's way. Thank you from the Sidonia Department of Labor.
I'm all ears. Gladly.
Let's clear these pests out of here. They just skeeve me out. If this was going to happen. Now what? alone. Find anything worth selling or using?
Final log for Jobber, logistics ship A2. Job number 146789. Beginning descent into Mars airspace towards Sidonia. And... What the...
What's wrong?
I'm losing systems. Something's cutting power. Nav's offline. Comms are dead.
That's not good.
Computers on the fritz. I'm going to try for the emergency landing. Shit! All two just vented. Life support is failing rapidly. Alert Galvez. Get your suits on and strap in. We're in for a rough landing.
What about...
Don't worry about me. Hurry! Go! I'll be right behind you as soon as I set the ship to land.
Just because the governor's office is right out there on the main level doesn't mean it's not secure.
Sidonia may be rough around the edges, but it is utterly monumental for humanity.
You did not find my cargo ship yet, I take it?
The Interceptor broke box office records with its release. The latest Interceptor movie also set records in production costs and delays.
Ah, welcome back! Will you tell me the word on my ship? Anything? Oh, no! I hope they did not get into my cargo and ruin anything. As for the crew, I assume dead, yes? That is too bad. Too bad. But you found the ship and its cargo, and that is good at least. I will send someone to retrieve it now that you made it safe. Thank you. Maybe I will have more jobs for you. If you want. We got a lot of good stuff here. Come take a look, eh? Ah, plenty. I've always got work to do. Oh, wait. You mean more work from me for you? As a matter of fact, I do. You know how I have that shh business on the side? Well, I could use some help acquiring more goods to sell. How would you feel about obtaining them for me? Excellent, friendo. I have a buddy who gives me information on where to find renegades throughout the stars, and I will give this information to you. You will go there and get the items I need from them. One thing, though, I don't want to hear details on how you get them, but you will likely need to use force, so be careful. And try not to damage the merchandise.
Few institutions have endured as well.
Watch out for the robots. They're surprisingly sneaky.
Again, the customer satisfaction survey of New Atlantis businesses ranked Galvin.
Hey, careful around the equipment. I want to use an arm or something.
Feel like Galvin right.
This life ain't easy, but it pays the bills.
You know, I believe we've got the best mining team ever assembled here. Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor, mining director for the Deimos mining project here in scenic underground Sidonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat, so long as you're not looking for mining work, I suppose. Oh, that! Oh, nothing to worry about. We do fracking on Mars with subterranean particle detonations. Those announcements are just to let people know when to expect them. Now, you probably felt the rumble when the detonations actually go off. That's all it is. Not too bad, eh? Basically, it's high-tech mining. Sounds way more dangerous than it is. Oh, come on, mate. It's perfectly safe. Yep, that's me. Joined up with Deimos when I was just 17 as a mining. I worked hard, proved myself capable, and got... Some of the older guys resent me, but I give... not so bad for one of the oldest mines in the settled systems. As I'm sure you know, we're responsible for supplying resources to Deimos Star Yards. That, among other major projects, makes us one of the United Colony's most important mining operations. The prestige and pay that comes with it almost makes up for being stationed at the arse end of the settled systems in the middle of nowhere. Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but yeah, unfortunately all our mining contracts are filled right. Unless... maybe you could help me out with a job. Off the books. Great! I promise it's nothing that'll get anyone in any kind of trouble. See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't exactly holding together like it used to. Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas. And we can't do that until we get new equipment. A real dilemma, right? I've got a plan for solving our little problem, though. Okay, glad you're still on board. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some more. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first. When you've got enough, drop it off in the bin over there for processing. Then come see me.
Practice shot. Almost like some sort of hive colony down here.
You can make a real good living working the mines here on Mars.
Okay. I can see you're serious about helping me. Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Our Director of Mining Operations, Peter Brennan, fired his last assistant over a month ago. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment, and unfortunately, he's useless without an assistant. I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you, as his assistant, can get him to sign off on the approval. Now hold on, it's not that easy. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill out the application. It's where that job is posted. Come back and see me when you've done that, and we'll talk about how to secure the position for you.
This is going to involve paperwork, and I have to let you know that suddenly my hands are just useless.
Acknowledging your hail. Deimos Star Yard is open for business 24/7. You're clear to dock.
Hello, Captain.
When humanity finally left the cradle of Earth behind, the United Colonies was born.
I wish Deimos was exclusively a military contractor.
Deimos is more than a star yard. It's a symbol of the UC.
Deimos ships are responsible for countless victories. They're a true piece of history.
Colonies and Deimos Star Yard. A historic partnership, bringing an even brighter future.
If you don't like that, take it up with the government.
Welcome to Deimos.
Ah, it's nice to see someone not in uniform. They can be so touchy, you know. Always eager to point out the slightest problem. Oh, I was. Most of us at Deimos served in the I'm mustered out as a chief warrant officer. Pretty good for a non-com, eh? But there is a lot of top brass around here, so you have...
Only thing unusual
should I bow or curtsy then? I assume you're here for a ship. Either that, or you are really, really low. Mr. Henderson handles sales, but if you want to know anything about our ships, I'm your gal. The UC Navy. I repaired just about every class of vessel there is. I even repaired Henderson's longsword once or twice. I swear that man has a guardian angel with him full time. Or 3. Deimos hired me because I know every rivet and microchip on these ships. So if Henderson gets stumped on something, it's showtime. I mean, they're very good, obviously. But these days, everyone's using the same core tech, right? Oh, shit. Do you know you can be lectured on being too honest? Right. What makes Deimos special, though, is the package. We've been building ships forever, and the way we put it all together, well, it's really good. In a, I'm gonna murder my enemies sort of way. Hmm? Oh, yeah? Well, I take that as a compliment. Oops. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say things like that, at least not so loudly. Man, I could really... Yeah, but who thinks to themselves? What I could really use is Jake Stout. I used to love that place when I lived there. Say, you're the traveling type, right? Awesome! Thank you so much. I eagerly await your return. Oh, yeah. Bye.
This is the heart of the UC.
No other ship can hold a candle to a Deimos. It's not even close.
Can Deimos ramp up production? It's heating up out there.
Yes, sir.
If you want to survive
We're
out
operating
there,
at 50%.
you've come to
You
the
can
right
easily take on
place.
more. But to go to the full 100,
You should
supply
be
chain for
honored to
components
step foot in here.
limiting factor.
That sounds like a serious problem. That feeling of sitting in the cockpit of a longsword, there's nothing like it.
What do we have here? A civilian in my star yard. Deimos prides itself on being the UC's first and last line of defense in space. But we're more than happy to protect and arm bold entrepreneurs that do their business among the stars. Anyone that flies in space earns my respect. Heck, an independent may be even braver. You don't have a fleet at your back when the Crimson Fleet comes calling. So, let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you. Yes, they are. I flew my longsword in 43 combat missions. It never once failed me. That's what you get with Deimos. Our ships have been battle-tested for decades longer than anyone else. I've had a long and successful military career. Deimos starships have played a major part in it. In fact, I'm sure that if I flew any lesser starship, I probably wouldn't be standing here right now talking to you. Then you'll love the ships we have on offer. If you ever get into a combat situation, your enemies won't know what hit them. And that's the way it should be. Of course. Certainly. When you get serious about your spacecraft, come back to Deimos.
Captain Smith, it is pleasant to see you.
Did someone leave some food out before we left? Whoa!
Been in the Vanguard a long time. The faces change, but bad guys are still bad guys, you know.
Think I was Vanguard material, until I discovered the space travel for
Don't worry. We're gonna make sure you get that job. Trust me, this is the best. Okay, now we need to ensure you get hired. To do that, you'll need to get access to the HR terminal in the corporate office. If you delete the other applications from the system, you'll be a shoo-in. That's the spirit. Believe me, this is gonna help everyone. By the way, the HR password is password spelled backwards, which Tia thinks is pretty clever. Surprised everyone doesn't know her password, honest. Anyway, should be pretty easy.
before you say anything, no Mars is nothing.
Good old Damus Staryard. You won't find anything. Flashy here, but it'll get you where you need to go.
You can make a real good living working the mines here on Mars.
Don't worry. Trust me. This is the best shot we've got at getting that request approved. And I can say that I've got some good news for you. I just saw the company message go out that you've been hired as Peter's assistant. Congratulations. Next step should be easy. Just go to work for Peter, and when you get access to his terminal messages, you'll see my request. All you've got to do is approve that request, and we'll be right on with it. Then, we can get that new equipment and show corporate how it's done.
I'm a bit busy at the moment. Lots of business operations to operate and all that. Oh, you're finally back. I feel like you've been gone for ages. Do you know how tough this job is without an assistant? What happened to the old one? You know what, never mind. When they told me how poorly you did on your application questions, I had my doubts. But at least you showed up on time, so maybe there's hope. Well, enough chit-chat. Let's get to. Not, very enthusiastic. Noted. So, I have a shipment I'm waiting for. Don't know where it is. Last time this happened, my assistant went to speak to the governor. I'm sure he'll help you to get it sorted out. Now, kindly, off with you. I don't know. At first I thought I had... I believe my last assistant was supposed to get... Oh, you're done?
I heard they found another new freshwater deposit in one of the mines.
Ah, hello. Welcome. I don't usually have time to speak with random people off the street, but I'd be happy to help if it's something quick. What can I do for you? Something important, huh? Well, lay it out for me. Well then, you've been quite busy making a name for yourself, haven't you? Oh, it's okay. You can drop the act with me.
Yeah, I can see where this is headed.
Wrong? Not exactly. But word does get around, and I like to keep abreast of what goes on in my city. So look, I admire a go-getter like yourself. You're not in trouble unless you make trouble. And I don't think you're the type. I know you're not really Mr. Brennan's assistant. I don't know exactly what you're up to. but I have little reason to suspect you're up to no good. So let's cut to brass tacks. What can I do for you? Oh, I know exactly what happened to that shipment. However, I suspect Mr. Brennan neglected to tell you that I'm holding it due to his immense backlog of unpaid taxes. Then again, he may be unaware. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll release that shipment for you. But I'm going to need a favor first, since you seem to be adept at keeping quiet. See, my personal spacecraft was stolen, likely by Crimson Fleet pirates. I need someone to find it. Then I need that someone to destroy it. Discreetly. I need tight lips on this. Then we have an agreement. I'll send you to the ship's last known location. Remember, not a word of this leaves this room.
Crime's at an all-time low around Sidonia.